I was once chatting with a friend.
Yes.
And she said, Banange, this marriage thing, it's like never ending, one thing after another.
Then there's something else.
It's like the what's it called? That something is the
Domino
mark
effect,
of
like,
constantly out
like
of
they keep
reach.
moving the mark.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like a
Yeah.
mirage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she was like, so when you said that, I'm curious.
Yeah.
There is cultivating a healthy relationship.
Yes.
Then there is maintaining, because as you said, we
Yes.
are constantly growing, we are constantly changing,
Yes.
evolving. What worked 2 years ago?
Thank you.
Also,
So now
emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Some of us, not everyone is emotionally intelligent.
Yes.
And also temperaments.
Yes.
Is there like different communication styles? Is there like a communication style that should never interact?
There's nobody who likes to be caught cheating. Nobody.
Caught or cold?
Yes. Caught or even, guilty of.
Some
should I
get
say?
scared.
Guilty of. But then also that doesn't mean that everybody who cheats decides to. There are people who it's a mistake. Honestly. I didn't know. No, I'm coming. I'm
Are
coming.
there men who don't cheat?
I'm coming.
I'm
waiting for
I
the
want that
There are men.
answer.
There are men who don't cheat.
I'm waiting for the mistake.
Jesus
First, explain the mistake. First, explain that mistake.
I'm angry with you, but you're quiet. But now let him say I'm angry with you, and you say, hey, I'm also angry with you. You're instigating something you might not have.
Now, if
For
I'm
me,
the
I'll
one-
tell you I'm angry with you.
So-
What do you mean?
Now, if I'm the one that's angry, why does is
Why
he
isn't he
being trained
holding
to also
back?
instigate
Why
something
isn't he
back?
holding back?
So,
that thing, I think what we're trying to say is that thing that women get where we say, if you're not a man's piece and he leaves you.
Guys, let's stop with those narratives that don't make sense in this day and age.
Hi, and welcome back to Calmly Aligned. We are so glad to have you back. We are so excited for what we have to share with you today because we have a special guest. First and foremost, this is a friend. And for me, this is someone who I consider family. So we have Ronnie with us today. Ronnie is a therapist. We are so glad to have you. You're very welcome.
thank you.
We love it because not only is he bringing a male perspective, but he's also a therapist, a professional angle, guys. We are so excited. Thank you. My name is Priscilla.
Amanda.
And Samantha.
And today we are talking about relationships in modern society. Ronnie, we are so happy to have you here today. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Our first male guest,
Wow.
our
Humbled.
first professional therapist.
Yeah.
Double humbled.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here. I also want to thank God for this wonderful opportunity. I'm a professional therapist. Did my psychology in the University of California, Riverside. Been practicing for 5 years. I specialize in communication, emotional intelligence, and also what they call the mindset.
Wow.
In psychology, they call it the reality of logic. Why that is because so many times we have theories that we've grown up with. We have ideologies that we've picked up along the way that kind of block the reality. So why it's called the reality of logic, you get into what's the logical thing to do.
Wow.
Yes. And I love what I do, mostly because I love people. I love conversations. So this comes in very handy
Yes.
because you're dealing with people's emotions, you're understanding behavior, and so many times behavior can't be excluded with emotions. It's definitely emotions. I either feel bad, that's why I'm acting like this. I either feel good, that's why I'm acting like this. Or I'm annoyed, that's why I'm acting like this. So you can't alleviate, you have to understand what is the emotion behind. Are you coming from a place of love? Are you coming from a place of grief? You need to correct? Do you need some healing? Is it why you're behaving like this? So it's not a one shoe size fits all. It is sit down and let's understand. And the epitome of therapy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for breaking it down. So why relationships in modern society?
So relationships have changed. The way relationships used to be is I see you, I date you, and then I possibly have a relationship with you after getting to know you. Today, people first jump into the relationship, then they think, oh, I don't know this person. Now you have to go backside and date the person. But then you're dating the person with the complexity of being in the relationship. So before, when I date you first, I get to know how to treat you, how to be with you, how to enjoy you. Then I get into the relationship and mix it with emotions. But when I first get into the relationship, emotions sometimes overflow. I may love you too much to understand you because I'm in so much love. Instead of sitting down and saying, who is Amanda or who is Priscilla? Now I'm filled with, oh my God, I don't know what she needs for her birthday. How can I be so? Am I bad? Have I gotten into the relationship unprepared? Definitely. But if I did the dating first, I'll say, no, 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 no. This is a bad time to talk about this with her. So I need to be either eased up or I need to forego this or I need to bring it later.
Thank you.
What modern society does is we are rushing into things, then we get there and we start to take steps back.
backtrack.
Yes. Oh my God, now I'm in the marriage. Okay, now I need to understand what this guy loves. I need to be a wife. Yet you're supposed to prepare yourself. I've dated the person, now I'm in a relationship with the person. Oh, now we want to get married. What does a wife need? What do I need to do? What ideologies do I need to go forth? What do I need to throw out? But now you're in the marriage and then you're thinking, oh, I didn't research how to be a wife. Now you're probably getting your answers from people who also don't know. Well, let me look at my friends. Guys, what do you think I should do as a wife? They're not prepared for that. This is your situation. But if you go through the proper old school channel, I mean, you're in the relationship and you realize, I think we need to take a next step, which is marriage. Research about marriage. Ask your parents, ask people who you admire so that they guide you and you don't reach inside and panic. So many times, even in relationships, what causes panic is lack of knowledge. What I call lack of knowledge is you didn't have any mentorship. You don't have people around you to give you support.
I like that. So what is our understanding, ladies? When you hear healthy relationship,
Yeah.
what comes to mind?
For me, even when you say modern society,
Yeah.
one would argue that back in the day, most marriages were arranged marriages.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, was there dating, or how is that different from the definition you've given for modern dating today?
Arranged marriages would seem something like this. Ronnie get married to Priscilla. This is Priscilla. She comes from this family. She has studied this. They're just giving you a background. So after, you need to date Priscilla. Get to know who she is, not from her parents' perspective, not from the arranged marriage perspective, but who's Priscilla? What colors does she like? Who is she as a person? She's short-tempered.
So were they doing this within the marriage? Or were they doing it?
Subsequently, they were doing it before the marriage. But you see, we come from
Depending on the culture.
Yes, also depending on the culture. There are cultures where it was sort of a given rule. Then there were cultures where they prepared you for the person. Then there were cultures where they just give you the handbook. They don't necessarily say this is Priscilla. They just say, well, in marriages, this is what happens. So you know what to expect. But even when you don't date the person, you may know what to expect. And the person is, okay, let me say a black sheep. They're totally different.
But also then what just occurred to me
Yeah.
is in those times, there was no option to leave the marriage. So I think people got in, and whether or not it worked,
Yes.
you had to make it work.
Yes.
You had to find a way to get comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's what made them seem to be working.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my thought. Yeah.
There were no options.
I would
really.
agree with you, because also now that's the adversity of modernity. There was so much of instruction back then. Now we have our own mindset. I grew up in Kampala, I studied in the US. What I saw in the US has shaped my later years. Then I come and I meet you, and they're saying the women have to be very respectful. I mean, I'm thinking, no, take it, do you? I love you so much. I need you to be independent and, share your emotions. But that doesn't remove the fact that there are times you're going to share your emotions and I'm going to be hurt. Oh my God, this present doesn't look like you thought about me the whole time. But what's the gesture? I remembered your birthday and I gave you a present. I thought you should have known me better. And in the end times, it is, he has given you a present, be appreciative. Some sort of authoritarian
from there.
style. Yes. See Mako. Yeah.
So is marriage becoming an institution of the olden days where less people getting married today? I wonder.
I,
There's even getting married and it's a staying for me. The question is the staying. Because
Fewer people are getting married and even fewer people are staying together.
today, there is fear. When you say marriage, there's so much negativity around. So many people are breaking up. And you would think that is statistics from the whole country. But that is a minute of the statistics of the whole country. Usually, when people are in a happy marriage, they don't post. They enjoy their happy marriage. It's usually when there's trouble that you turn to social media to voice
vent.
out, to vent. And that's when people say, oh, even Ronnie's venting. I told you marriages are not okay. But then how many Ronnies
or
are
to
there?
alleviate loneliness.
Have you summed up every marriage in the last 5 years and had a statistic that says they're all suffering? So, one, there's fear. Two, there's lack of knowledge and mentorship. So many people today are getting into marriages because I need to get married. Married. The clock is ticking. I need to get married to get certain position in the job, to be respected in society. All my girls are getting married. I'm the one who's not getting married. So the motive is wrong. Because that will mean you're not going to choose a person to love you. You're going to choose a person who will accept quickly because you have a target, either the job or you want to be, socially acceptable. So where you take to dating, you say, oh, this guy seems to be, he's ready for marriage. Let's skip the dating part. Let's first get into the marriage. Then we shall figure these things out. And then you realize that the marriage itself needs you to figure the things out before you enter the marriage. So it becomes a little bit difficult. And also, given the stories that are coming around, because a person from such a situation, if they talk about their story, you scare people.
Would you say that what is considered healthy in a relationship, a healthy relationship, has changed over the time?
Yes.
Especially what he spoke about on when you're married, there are certain jobs, there's a certain respect you
Yes.
get.
Yeah.
Is it still relevant today?
Yes.
It depends on the career, though, I think.
And I think it's more for men who benefit from.
What
Even women, let me tell
But
you,
even women.
you've not seen people saying, my family started to treat me different after I was married.
Absolutely.
I've seen this live, I'm telling you. Not for
Absolutely.
myself, but I've had friends who share with me and said, my family treats me so different, so much more respect.
Absolutely.
They give me so much more respect now as a married woman than I was accorded before.
But even marriage, men usually, because it's your husband, the covering that comes with it.
Yep.
Even in the workspace,
Yep.
if your husband is respected,
Yeah.
But
you
I
get a
had
different kind of
I
coverage.
had someone say something that when you, I think they were talking about having children. As a woman, your value goes down.
Of course.
So isn't it the same thing for being married with children? As a woman, as a man, yes, your value goes up.
But still there's a covering.
How a woman who has children without being married is
And the one with-
considered,
yeah.
and the one who is married with children.
So what if the marriage doesn't work out?
You're still going to be treated differently. And this is something that is faced by people who have gone through a divorce or separation and are now on the other side. There's a certain discrimination you experience, but it only comes when you're on the other side.
And I was seeing, these Hollywood celebrities are always talking about sexual harassment when they go for this producer. Like what's this lady's name? The one that was married to Keith Urban.
Keith Urban, that would be Nicole Kidman?
Yes, Nicole Kidman was talking about how she never experienced such treatment because she was married to Tom Cruise at the time. And he was a very respected figure in society.
In Hollywood.
So there was a covering that she had going in as a young actress already set. And it's different, of course, you know the story of the rest, Me Too movement. Same thing, even like, it's not even, I think, especially
Even in this society, in our Uganda here, you see it in subtle ways, but it's there.
it's obvious, it's not subtle, it's very obvious. When you go to church, you see the missus Even when the husband never attends church, you can see the respect the pastor accords you. You can,
Yes.
no one is trying to advise you unnecessarily because
Yeah.
So is that why women are staying in toxic marriages, just to have that
There's that,
respect?
it's not
But
just that, but for some who value it, it's another reason to stay.
Yeah.
it's a sense of belonging.
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Also, what maybe people don't really realize about marriage is really about two people. That means two sets of finances, two sets of people who support you, my family and your family.
Yeah.
Having a day-to-day person you can bounce off anything
yeah,
from a position of trust.
yeah,
Yeah.
That even when my day has gone bad, I can go back.
That's it. It's healthy.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
Because I think there's a variation, because when you've experienced
Yes.
a situation where someone doesn't even feel safe to tell you something as small as, how do I look before we step out the door?
Yes.
You don't trust your spouse to even be able to tell you, oh, let's adjust this.
Yes.
So I think we have to understand
Yeah.
that many of us are relating,
Yeah.
but is it healthy?
Yeah. That's why
That's why I'm trying to make that distinction.
that's why I particularly chose this topic, because I wanted to also talk about what a healthy relationship is.
Yeah.
Because we dwell so much on, is the marriage healthy? I'm suffering. I'm not
the
happy.
negativity.
There's no intimacy. So
As a married woman, I want to tell you that so many times
yeah,
you ask yourself, is what I've done good? Is how I'm behaving
yeah,
beneficial? What is it doing to my spouse?
yes,
Or what are they, something that they're doing, how is it
Reflective
is this
of-
is this healthy?
yes,
I don't know if it happens for other people.
yes.
I'm just speaking
You're
about myself,
self-reflective.
where I have a moment where I say,
Did I do something
would
right?
someone say they're in a healthy relationship with Priscilla?
Yes.
Or can I with confidence say I'm
Yes.
in a healthy relationship?
Yeah,
And what am I modeling for the small people who are seeing? Yeah.
absolutely.
That's what is that thing they say when you,
So introspection.
yeah, you're an introspective person, because not some people are unaware. They're not
Very.
self-aware.
Sure. Really?
Yeah. Someone can be toxic and they're not aware. And they are shocked when an outsider says it, because when
Yeah.
you're used to that dynamic, sometimes you don't know you're
Yeah.
being toxic.
Yeah.
But if someone comes and says, even you, even the thing that they are abusing, you may
True.
not
I've
know.
actually caught myself like with some toxic parenting tendencies that I feel this is what I know.
And then you hear someone,
And then I think about it, or then I'll think about it from their point of view. Like,
So I wanted to just paint a picture of what a healthy or good relationship is. Good communication. There is no relationship without good communication that can blossom. What is good communication? I know how you feel, and because I know how you feel, I know how to treat you. Take an example. I hurt you yesterday. When you tell me that I hurt you yesterday, I know how to make things right. It's not about you deserve to be hurt, because yesterday, no. You hurt me. Sorry, I hurt you yesterday. How can I be better? Oh, the tone you used was very cohesive. Now I know what to do. The next day, I need to have a better tone. Now you're setting a safe space for a good relationship, because the communication is, I now know I made a mistake. I have the ability to correct it. Take an example. You're having a fight, and then you say some things you can't take back. Even you yourself, you've said those things. At the back of your mind, yeah, I've called you stupid. That's not something nice to say. Because of good communication, tomorrow or later, 2 days later, when we have a communication together, so how are you feeling today? I'm a little bit down. Oh, why are you down? Yesterday we had a big fight. Now you know where to start with. I can't come back the next day and begin with a second problem. I have to first resolve, which is good communication. But so many times there's no good communication, either out of fear or out of ignorance. Someone has hurt you and you've chosen to keep quiet for 3 months, but then you forget that you're an emotional being. Because you have been hurt, you're not going to be inclined to give positive gestures. Of course, if you've hurt me and you say good morning, I'll say, yeah, good morning. I'm hurt.
wow.
I'm hurt, right?
Yeah.
But because we don't have a good relationship, you don't know that I'm hurt. I am aware of your well-being. Because if we had an argument yesterday night, I can't just wake up in the morning and say, good morning, I hope you slept well. Good morning doesn't even cut it. It should be, how are you feeling? Sorry about yesterday, because of course I know I hurt you. Good communication. You know, because if you don't apologize, someone is keeping a grudge. They're definitely not feeling well. And sometimes, even when you don't understand that, the world has a way of bringing things back. There will come a day when now you are hurting me. Maybe you're going to say something. I went out to get bread and I didn't succeed. And I tell you, today, baby, I'm coming. We're going to clear the rent. Things don't go well. Bad communication. But for you, you never do the things you're supposed to say.
Never.
Now I'm
The
hurt.
never word.
Now I'm hurt. But because there's no good communication, I'm probably going to keep it in and say, I'm going to also wait for you. And that's bad communication.
I was also watching a lady on,
Yes.
on TV talk about her relationship. There's this lady that went viral
Yeah.
for she broke off her engagement. And then she was saying that for them in their relationship, they had good communication. She was on a podcast called Their Future Wife here.
Yeah.
They didn't advertise, but okay.
Yeah.
So yes, she was talking about how they would communicate, like when they have a disagreement. So when she has a problem, she would go tell him and he would listen and promise. But there was no follow through.
Yeah.
So same pattern.
Yeah.
So she kept saying, yeah, we had very good communication. And the guy was like, no,
Thank you. That's what I was going to say.
like it's not aggressive, but that's not good communication.
Yeah.
'Cause
You're
communication-
hearing me,
Yeah.
but you're not listening.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
difference.
Or you're listening and you're dismissing me still. Already.
Talk about dismissing. Following up. Oh, baby, you said this time you're going to do the rain. What happened? What really happened? So you're having a good communication. Not you've done it again. Amen. You said you're finishing the house this year. You didn't finish the house. I just don't know
You
why
never
you're not,
do what you say you're going
never
to do. The never words.
But for you, you believe. And we talk. This is good communication. But you haven't said, baby, this is the second year. Is there something wrong? How are we going to go about this? Are you pressured? Because if he's failing to deliver, there's something underlying. Can we have that conversation from a comfortable position?
But we're taking the assumption that by the time every time you're communicating,
You're
you're in
right.
a good mood, your hormones
Yes.
are in balance,
Yes.
everything is good, you're feeling good.
Yeah.
But there are times when life doesn't work like that.
I'll give you a perfect example. You know you're not feeling good. Why are you choosing to tackle something very sensitive when you yourself know
You're not feeling good. So those are the tools that people should know.
Those are healthy relationships. You're aware. Also because maybe you love the person, so you mind them. Or you have taken a deliberate, should I say, you have chosen to be very intentional. Look here, I'm just in a bad mood. We can't talk about finances. I'm in a bad mood. Maybe the bad mood is coming from work, maybe another relationship, home or family. So we can't be discussing finances where you haven't delivered. I'm already in a bad mood. The day you say you don't deliver, that's when things like, but you never deliver. But it's not coming from this, it's coming from something. That's why good communication, even when I'm trying to table something, you say, but today I had a rough day. Can we talk about this maybe tomorrow? That's good communication.
So what happens if you've communicated that today I'm not in the right headspace and
Yes.
the person pushes?
Yeah.
That means the situation for the other person is burning. Now, most people think good communication is communication where you don't argue. No. Sometimes I'm saying I'm in a bad mood, but you're in a worse mood. Or you have a deadline.
Yeah.
Like we're supposed to pay the rent before tomorrow. If you're in a bad mood and we still don't pay the rent, they're going to kick us out.
The mood will be worse.
So maybe then you'll say, baby, I know we are in a bad mood now. You see that, but that's communication. That's good communication.
Yeah.
I'm not letting it slide because they're going to kick us out tomorrow at the expense of you not being in a good mood. There's a bigger issue here. But also that happens when you are in a good communication spirit. You know that by the time you say, baby, today I think I have a headache, and you're saying, I don't think this can wait. Now, because of good communication, I'll say, this must be something serious. Okay, let's discuss it even when I'm hot. It doesn't mean it will definitely go the right way, but it's better than saying, okay, then tomorrow, baby, we are out. They've kicked us out. Why did you bring this up tomorrow? Well, you were in a bad mood. Now already we are arguing about something that we would have prepared ourselves to execute. So those are some of the
in a
things.
situation where a partner is an avoidant
Style of communication.
yes, where there will always be something. If it's not a bad mood, it is have a deadline for work, I can't make time.
They just don't want to
Or if you just
tackle
stand
issues.
up and walk away.
That's when we come to our next thing. Caring enough to serve. When you care enough to serve, you put in extra time for your partner. I know my partner, they procrastinate a lot. Something that I would have said, I use the rent part because it's an easy thing. Me bringing up the rent 2 days to the problem, now I know my partner, I need 2 weeks. I need to start this thing 2 weeks because I know him is going to procrastinate 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, but I still have 2 weeks. But also caring enough to serve is putting particular time to know your partner. He doesn't like doing things. I can help, I can push, or I can create the right environment that can instigate him to. But that requires you to study your partner. Because when you study your partner, what people don't usually understand is even in marriage, people grow. The Ronnie of 1 year ago in marriage is not the same Ronnie of 5 years. We now have kids, there's pressure, there's this, that. 1 year we had no children. Even on a bad day, we discuss the hardest thing. Now I have a rent, I have fees, like baby, I'm still trying to complete this fees thing. The rent can wait. We can talk to the landlord. I have a relationship with him. The fees, I can't talk to the class teacher. But now things have changed. Now you have to be in the right emotional state to see the dynamics. I know my man, when I bring the things to him, things don't settle well. I need to bring them to him through someone else.
So what's the importance of having a good healthy relationship?
The importance of having a good healthy relationship is you mitigate so many things. Communication is the strongest pillar because you are aware. A problem that would hurt the relationship out of silence can be managed, and you have 2-3 bad days of battling, but the problem doesn't come. Than when you're silent and I just wake up one day and say, I'm tired of the marriage. What? You're tired of the marriage? Yeah, you're this, you're that, you're the other, and there's little time for you to mitigate all that. But with good communication, I'll bring it up and you say, I messed up again. Okay, I want to change. But you're aware. That's something that can be worked on. It's not something that I have to wait for it to have an expiry date and then we hustle about trying to get it on the right side. Because let me tell you, good communication caters for emotion. Good communication caters for how does the other person see the problem. Me, my problem right now is rent. His problem is the children's fees. Good communication, I will start to see that rent is not so much of a problem for my husband, who is the leader of this marriage. So now I need to first focus on the things that are a problem to him so that we can get to the things that are. Because of course, as we know the dynamics of marriage, men love to be respected. There are odd moments when it is the lady coming in and saying, no, first leave the kids, let's do the rent. Because now there you're super advancing his authority. He feels undermined. And of course, if he feels undermined, it might not mean you're wrong, but it might change the dynamics. Now he's going to start feeling like, okay, you handle the rent things. Now let me cater for the children. Now you're starting to split roles. What should have been my role is now your role, which means I've given it to you. And when you fail, I'll say, but I gave the role to you. I now have the chance to put it on your docket and the weight is now on you, which is also something that is not so good. So when you look at good communication and also caring enough to serve, so much of marriage is about serving.
There's someone that said, maybe let me let you finish that. I think you want to say
No,
more
no,
on that.
say it.
It's okay. You can.
I was going to say that I was once chatting with a friend,
Yes.
and she said, Banange, this marriage thing, it's like never ending, one thing after another.
Then there's something
It's
else.
like the what's it called? That something is the mark
Domino
of
effect. Like,
constantly out
they
of
keep moving
reach.
the mark.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like a
Yeah.
mirage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she was like, so when you said that, I'm curious.
Yeah.
There is cultivating a healthy relationship.
Yes.
Then there is maintaining, because as you said, we are constantly growing, we are constantly changing,
Yes.
evolving. What worked 2 years ago?
Thank you.
Also,
So now
emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Some of us, not everyone is emotionally intelligent.
Yes.
And also temperaments.
Yes.
Is there like different communication styles? Is there like a communication style that should never interact?
What I would say to that is being emotionally intelligent. I'll give you an example. My husband has a bad temper. You can tell, if you really love this man, that I think the tempers are rising regardless of whether I am right, which means the outcome is not going to be as satisfying as I would want it. Yes, I'm right, but he has a temper problem because I know my husband. And I feel like the tempers are rising. So it doesn't serve me right to stick on the thing. No, 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 you didn't come back in time. The guy's tempers are rising. What's the result? Poor communication, him starting to feel maybe he's not enough, or starting to feel like he has pinned. The average man doesn't want to feel pinned, even when there's need for that. But it just doesn't feel good. It's like, let me give you an example. There's nobody who likes to be caught cheating. Nobody.
Caught or cold?
Yes, caught or even, guilty of.
Some
should I
get
say?
scared.
Guilty of. But then also that doesn't mean that everybody who cheats decides to. There are people who it's a mistake, honestly. I didn't know. No, I'm coming.
Are there men who don't cheat?
I'm coming.
I'm
I'm waiting for
I
the
want that
mistake.
to answer.
There are men who don't cheat.
I'm waiting for the mistake.
Jesus
First, explain the mistake. First, explain that mistake. How do you cheat by mistake?
So you can cheat out of lack of knowledge. I'll give an example. I'm married. I've just gotten married. I didn't get enough courtship. I didn't get enough mentoring. I stay with my single friends, but I just don't have the right coaching. And there's this one night, we're having a fight, and I'm thinking, the guys that even call me for a movie, but we're here fighting. I think it's safe I give you space. But I've gone with an emotional deficit. The guys have gone to a single guys, very happy to receive me in my bad mood. Oh, Ronnie, you're in a bad mood. Let's get that off you. Actually, let's not go for the movie. Let's go to the club. All those are signs of a mistake waiting to happen. Yeah. But
That's like saying stealing because you're hungry. It's okay. What do you mean?
what I mean,
As adults, you can see an ambience.
what I mean
Yeah,
is this.
sometimes the right thing is in gray
Listen,
areas.
let me give you an example. Let me give you an example to match that. What I mean is this. Use that example and try to avert it to, I've been married 4 years, we're arguing. And I said, look, these single guys have called me again. Let me just go. Because anyway, she's not going to listen to me. She's too angry. I just feel overpowered. But I know that I've chosen that. I know. 5 years in, probably happened to a friend 2 years in, and I know these things. I'm angry with you. I'm going out with the single guys. They're probably going to take me to the club. I'm not in the right headspace. Lo and behold, you meet an old flame who is in the worst state of their life, and they're just ready to mingle, whether you're married, whether you're having issues. That's a guy who knows. You're 5 years in. These are things that are not new to you. Compared to the first guy, he's in his first 3 months of marriage, and he just blindly, let me give you some steam because we are going to argue. This thing is not ending. Let me just go out with the guys. Don't you see there's a difference? I'm not justifying. No, I'm not justifying. I'm just saying there's a difference.
No, there is a difference.
Yes.
And one can be more forgiven, but at the end of the day, it's still a choice.
Absolutely.
It's not a mistake.
Absolutely.
You make a choice.
Absolutely. It's like, let me give an example. Marriages are hard,
Yeah.
but they can also be beautiful.
Yeah.
So when they are hard, what do? You should have a circle of mentors. You should be in a very good relationship with your father, mother figures, or parents. Like, mommy, today, this lady is making me go nuts. And maybe your mother is going to tell you, remember, you're the man of the house, you're the steerer of this house. So even when I'm thinking, let me go out with the guys, and I've talked to my mentor and they said, go back and resolve that. And if I really love my marriage and respect my mentors, I'll come back. I'll come back and say, I know if I go out with the single guys, I know how that is going to be.
Yeah.
But without a circle of mentors, my emotions may overtake me. And I say, I've been home a long time. I've tolerated you a long time. That's me giving excuses for my bad behavior in the future.
Yeah.
So I am of knowledge. I know. I know. Because they don't tell you tolerate the woman for X number of times. No. Tolerate, period.
And you're right, we rarely hear about the good side of marriage. We're always hearing, oh, men are always cheating, marriage is difficult, we are unhappy.
Hence
And you
the
know what?
idea that all of them.
Thank
So
you.
we
But
need to
even
hear
now,
about
for us here that are single,
Yeah.
people are always discouraging you. Why do you want to get married? Is marriage the end of it all? But they are married and they're not living. I'm like, hey, how about allow us to also try our luck?
Yes.
So there's a lot of champion. There's like a championing, fairly
There's a time
propaganda to discourage us.
there's a time I was talking to a single lady who was telling me something like that. And I said, when do you hear these same friends coming and telling you, marriage is so wonderful. I'm actually just going back to my husband and we just watch a movie. Man,
In fact, they don't want to tell you because we're talking about it in the other episode. When you announce,
For women,
they
you're
attract.
attracting the evil eye.
When you announce good things,
for women, there's this unsaid thing
Yes.
that you're not going to go and
Advertise your good
person.
things.
So this is the kicker psychologically. If you're not going to go and advertise your good thing, why are you
Advertising the bad
bad
thing. True.
Is it because the bad thing can't cause harm back to you, but it can cause harm to the other
And
person?
yet it can.
So you see that there's an imbalance. So many people talk about marriages. I keep on telling sometimes that single people, be a little bit brutal. Oh, my husband, this guy, he's unserious. How was he when you had just gotten married? By the way, then what made you get married to him in the first place? Because when you start asking those questions, you're trying to probe to the other person that you're talking all these bad things, but you're in the marriage.
And you don't want to leave.
Okay, then what took you there? They just deposed you there? There must be something wrong. There must be something you're not seeing. There must be something you're choosing to focus on.
True. What you focus on.
Yes,
or there's a
And
benefit
it's
there that you're
amplified.
not
What
sharing.
you
You're
focus on
not.
is what gets bigger, it grows.
definitely. I keep telling people there's a psychological thing I tell people. If it walks and quacks like a duck, it is a duck. It is a duck. If you're having challenges, seek some people who you feel are not having challenges. Have the right circle of friends that you can bounce these things about. I've been married. I've been in married fellowship and thought there was this very, very, very thing about marriage that I needed to handle. And almost all the guys are saying, we've been there, hang in.
Yeah.
So why are they saying we've been there hanging? That means they're saying that shouldn't be the worriest of your problems.
Yeah.
You're overthinking about, oh my God, he hasn't delivered for the second time. What about the very nice things he has done for the last 3 years? Can we choose to first focus on that? Can we sit down and do some tally system? Okay, yeah, he hasn't
Is
delivered
that one
twice.
of the
but
steps towards mending if you're already at that point? Because I'm
Absolutely.
curious for those people who are telling you, no, it gets better.
Yes.
For someone who's looking for a roadmap on how they will get to that place where you are, where it's better.
Yes.
How do you advise?
Seek mentorship. Those guys that are telling you it gets better, have a one-on-one conversation and say, okay,
Have you been with people who have come to you and said it can't be mended?
Yes.
It's broken. It's
Yes.
shattered. The
Yes.
pieces cannot be even found to be glued back together.
Yes.
So when you're saying mentorship,
Yes.
it feels like, but that's too much work. You're sending me now to because I've also been there where you feel like, okay,
All
First
of us
and
have been.
foremost, as I don't know if it's an African thing, but I know as women, when we are getting married, you're told, do not air your dirty laundry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So mentorship feels like, okay, if I'm going to seek someone out to help me, I'm going to have to divulge some
And
of
to
the things
report
I'm
you.
going through.
It's like
And it
reporting.
feels like reporting. Now, how am I now going to go? How do I seek? So people choose to sit in that darkness rather than...
Let me try to interject from a psychological point of view. You don't need to come and say, Priscilla has been very bad this week. Hi, Priscilla, how are you? How do you manage, having a good conversation with your husband? That's a better way to attack the problem than saying, this whole week, me and my wife have just been off and off. Now there you're airing your dirty laundry. Yet you can come and say, you seem to be managing communication well. How do you do it? Oh no, we pray every day. We talk to each other every day. We have communication talks once in a week. Oh yeah, every Friday we sit down and talk about the week. You're getting knowledge. But you don't need to bash. You don't need to come and say, like my wife, tomorrow I'm going to fight. If she doesn't do something, there you're airing your dirty laundry. But you can come and say, you seem like you're managing well with your relationship. That's why I started with having a circle of trust.
Of mentors.
Someone you can tell, and sometimes it doesn't even feel like you're airing your dirty laundry, because that person you're telling you trust, and you believe that even when you talk about something that is seen as dirty laundry, they'll say, shh, love your husband, respect him. Things can be hard. Then when you talk to someone, they say, hey, I told you. I told you. And for you, you keep quiet. Today you have just, I told you. Things are hard. It just continues to demoralize. It just continues to confirm dirty laundry. Yet you can talk to a couple of people and they say, no, never talk about your husband like that. Go and fix it. And sometimes what they're saying is, the answer, you just say they're being too big-headed. The answer, you're being difficult. The answer, he slapped you, you pushed him. That's the real truth.
So now when couples get...
Guys, are we glorifying domestic violence?
Not
you
glorifying.
slapped him and you pushed him.
I'll give you an example. They are not saying you deserve it. They are bringing out an unspoken truth.
To the gallows, anyone who touches another human being.
But pushing and slapping, they're all touch.
There's so many people who are in bad relationships until the world believes them. I'll take an example.
Yeah.
You complain about the man, people say, our marriage is like that. Then the man beats you and he breaks your arm. Now it's visible. And they say, we didn't know things were that bad. They were just not listening.
Yeah.
Also, you just didn't have a circle of trust that you can tell, and they say, hey, you mean your arguments...
That's like a line crossed.
Your arguments have started reaching that far? Pace yourself. That's a man. Don't let them reach that far. Oh, I know your man. He's my cousin. They have bad temper in their family. I know their history as a family, things like that. Oh, we started with that guy, he beats. But because you're in a circle of trust where you can share knowledge and be helped, sometimes we don't know how to be helped.
Yeah.
Until someone comes and says, relax. Lower your tone, just respect him. Sometimes you have to exercise a lot of humility for the other person to reach a point and they're defenseless. Now they have no reason to beat you because every time they're arguing, you're quiet.
But I have a question though.
Please.
For someone who's like an abuser, if someone is an abuser, and first and foremost, they preempt you getting that circle of trust by making sure that they remove you, they isolate you, so you have nowhere to turn. Someone like that now.
You remember the part where we said you date intentionally. Know your person.
I want to know what you would say to a person who has found themselves in that situation. We don't know the history.
And the other thing for me is that whole thing of, oh, he's a man, respect him.
He's angry.
Respect is a humanity thing. It's not about gender.
Yes. He has anger issues. What do you mean?
Well, we all have anger issues. Over family, their family. What do you mean their family?
Let me tiptoe on that one.
It depends, because I feel like when he said that when you have that circle of trust, first and foremost, you will have the safe space to talk. And yes, those conversations may come up where they tell you, hey, that family, by the way, but he didn't finish. Maybe the conversation ends with, for that family, you have to make a tough choice. Do you understand? So it was about
So he doesn't want to tell you what to
The
do.
you having that
information,
safe
because
space
yeah.
to begin
Yes.
with, to get that
That
information,
information,
for you to be able to make an informed decision.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, I'll give you a perfect example. Sometimes the answers are outside.
Outside yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even your circle. Sometimes there's someone who has gone through that for 2 years and they survived. They have the perfect answer for you. But if they're in your safe space, you trust them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's an emotional space, very delicate, but also requires things like respect, patience, also being a virtuous woman, surviving through the rocks, because there are couples or relationships that have gone over 20 years and people ask them, but how did you guys manage? I respected him. But do you go back and you say, how did you respect him? And they'll tell you, oh, well, it wasn't easy.
I knelt.
There's
It wasn't
something
easy.
there's something I've noted with society, especially in the African context. We as women are given so much training about marriage. We are groomed from when we are children, preparing us to be wives and mothers. But
And to understand and to be strong.
Yes.
And to
but
be
boys
virtuous.
and men do not get that same
Yes.
level of
Level.
attention
Yes.
and mentorship about marriage. Because as a man, you should also know that a woman also needs to be respected. It's a human need.
So many times, a relationship is nurtured by the woman, but it is led by the man.
Correct.
Ooh, that is a golden moment right there.
So many
A
times,
relationship is
a
nurtured by
relationship
a
is
woman.
nurtured by a woman, but it is led by the man. What nurturing means is you make sure the ground is safe to move, but you're not the mover. He is the mover. That's why so many times they prepare women. Most of that preparation is be kind, be gentle, don't talk back, hold back. So many times for the man is because it's the opposite. He won't hold back. Me, I'm angry with you. You don't need to say, yeah, I'm also angry with you. There you're not holding back. Because sometimes you just keeping quiet will get him thinking, I'm angry with you, but you're quiet. But now let him say I'm angry with you and you say, hey, I'm also angry with you. You're instigating something you might not have.
No, if
For
I'm
me,
the
I'll
one,
tell you I'm angry with you. What do you mean?
now if I'm the one that's angry, why does is
Why
he
isn't he
being trained
holding
to also
back?
instigate
Why
and
isn't
hold
he
back?
holding back?
So,
That thing, I think what we're trying to say is that thing that women get where we say, if you're not a man's piece and he leaves you.
Guys, let's stop with those narratives that don't make sense in this day and age.
why I was saying that is because why I'm saying nurturing. Do you know how hard it is to continuously coerce a peaceful, humble, soft spoken woman?
Very easy.
What about a humble man? A humble man is so valuable, you people.
So many times when you're in a relationship and you have cultivated things like communication, you've cultivated things like good stewardship, you've cultivated things like caring, you've particularly, specifically understood your person. There are so many fights you will ignore. I'll give an example, even for the men. If a man knows you so well, he'll know, my wife asks me, not because she's bad, but because there's this love I have for her. So sometimes she just says things and they tick me off. But because I'm aware of it, I say, Ronnie, they're ticking you off. Baby, let me take a walk. So many times they tell men, don't engage the woman. Walk away.
Yeah.
Not because she's too weak and you beat and dismantle her, but because she's in her emotions and you have to exercise leadership.
Okay.
Now we're on board. Before I wasn't understanding.
But the reason why that man is doing that, he has a streak of mentors who have said that and he believes them because
What
they
I want
have
to
done
ask you,
it.
Ronnie,
Yes.
for a situation where because so many times I'm speaking now as a woman, we misunderstand that walking away.
Yes.
We see it as being dismissed.
Yes.
We see it as you don't
Let
care.
me come before you even continue. I'm angry with you. You're talking at the loudest of your voice, and I say, Priscilla, let me just walk away because I don't want something to happen. 3 days in, when we've resolved, why don't you sit and say, but baby, why do you walk away when I'm trying to push your buttons? Because you are getting on my nerve and I feel like breaking your head, so I walk away. Now the next time when you're
I
having
don't
an argument,
appreciate these
communication.
analogies.
No. It's communication. You know why I'm saying it's communication?
These analogies
No,
are just
you know why I'm saying
killing
it's
me.
communication?
They are triggering.
They're triggering me.
Do you know why? Do you know why I'm saying it's communication?
I'm sorry for
Do you know why I'm saying it's communication? The next time that sequence plays again, you have full information that when he walks away, he's not saying you're a stupid woman. He's not saying the things you think he's saying. You know for a fact that he's walking away. That's when you realize, I think I'm getting on his nerve. Anyway, let him walk away. But now you are in your position of knowledge. I'll give you an example.
But before you give the example, yeah,
Please.
because I asked earlier a question about temperament and,
Yes.
and speaking and communication styles, right?
Yes.
Because I was watching an episode of, I love TV. People know this. I was watching an episode of Tia and Tamara, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking about communication, right?
Yeah.
One of them claims she's direct.
Yeah.
Like for her, she's direct. She doesn't beat around the bush. And the other one is more empathetic.
Yes.
So when they did a therapy session
Yes.
and they sat together,
Yeah.
they told them, okay, what do you feel when the other one communicates at you? And then when Tamara stood up, she was like, you understand? So for her already, because of their different communication styles, when the other one speaks, she's already like, and then they asked her when she does that, how do you feel? Then she was like this, like she like hid away.
Like cowers into
Yeah,
herself.
she cowers into herself. So now even the other one now understood. First she was like, me, I was just trying to get
Thank
to
you.
the point.
Quickly.
I wasn't trying to diminish or make you feel
Thank
small. But it's I think maybe therapy is what needs to be about self-awareness. I don't know what.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
But the underlying lesson there is communication.
Yeah.
How do you feel when the guy walks away?
Walks
I
away.
feel like he doesn't love me.
Yeah.
Sir, why do you walk away? I walk away because I've been dealing with anger issues.
Yeah.
So I walk away to refrain myself from.
Yeah.
Now she's in a very good position to understand.
Yeah.
Hey. So when he's walking away, I'm instigating. So the next time when he starts to say, Priscilla, okay, let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean she said, I've given up. It means maybe when they're in a happy moment, she can bring it up and say, but you know, the other time I felt like you were not listening. Then you say, yeah, but I had a hard day at work. I lost 5 million on a deal. And I felt like you actually were pointing at me. I started to feel the rage. Now he's explaining from a position of comfort
Yeah.
For
And
me.
when
And
someone
safety, where he feels
and
safe.
safety.
Yeah.
But also because you have brought it up from you're in a happy time.
Yeah. Also
That's
understanding
why,
because
that's why I said
sometimes
safety. For some reason, men seem to be averse to being antagonized to, what is it called? What's that word? When you almost, it has gone.
Instigating.
Not just instigating, but when they feel attacked.
yeah,
Yes.
There's a way in which they,
And by the
they
way,
withdraw.
and by the way, that's a masculine trait.
Yeah.
Never attack a man. That's why they say, be humble, even when he's exercising all this testosterone, there's power in you being a woman.
Yeah.
Because as I'm saying, and you're just, I can see you, I can see your reaction. You feel defenseless. You feel like you've already lost the battle. Then I'll start saying, hey, don't try me.
Yeah.
Rather than me saying, and I'm just continuing. Because that's the nurturing part of a woman. A woman is soft, is kind, is peaceful.
a safe place.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think when you're like that, because sometimes you're triggered, like when someone looks at your relationship,
Yeah.
someone can point out patterns that you're not aware of.
Yep.
But if you know your husband, like you know how someone says, how can you allow him to speak like that? Then you're like, I know him. He's
Thank you.
just-
Thank you very much.
There's a confidence that comes
Thank you
with
very much.
that communication.
I want
and
to pick up on
understanding.
a point you brought up earlier about having self-awareness.
Yeah.
I read a book recently, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, and they were talking about self-awareness in communication. And there's sometimes I realize that maybe someone can be making a point that I don't agree with, and I catch myself maybe rolling my eye.
Thank you. Thank you.
So the
Thank
body
you.
language is saying everything that the mouth isn't.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if it's someone that is strange, then that would be like, that's it. She doesn't like me, or she doesn't respect me, or she.
So
And
cultivating
like
that
Ronnie said, men
self-awareness.
and respect.
Yeah.
And let me tell you
Even
something.
women and respect. No one wants to
Yeah.
be
Actually,
disrespected.
Even like woman to
surprisingly,
woman.
Yeah.
Communication goes.
surprisingly, I always urge the men to love. Heaviest emotion and most powerful a man can use on a woman. If a woman is difficult and you just love her a notch higher,
You bring the softness
she
out.
will melt.
Kavolume, yongera kavolume. Like atabannakuwulira.
She argues, you choose to love her.
Yeah.
But that's still understanding the person.
Yeah.
I know my woman, she can tick me off. So, you can realize I'm in a better position today. I'm feeling happy. Maybe they've given a bad appraisal. She's in a bad mood. Let me tell you, the first 15 minutes, I will tell her there's something wrong.
Yeah.
So,
You'll see her
psychologically, I'll say, Ronnie, organize yourself.
Yeah.
You're the man, you're powerful. This is a time for you to be soft because she seems to be in a bad place.
Yeah.
But that comes from going back to the beginning. Good relationship,
Yeah.
good communication, healthy
But
relationship.
even love. To
Even
care.
love.
Because sometimes like I know you don't want, but I don't care.
Thank
There
you.
are things like that.
Not even that.
Like I know you're annoyed, but I don't care.
Not
Stay
even
annoyed.
that. We all have those moments.
Yeah.
I keep telling people, when we're in a fight and you're lame and you're winning, I want to talk about your leg
Yeah.
because you're winning.
Yeah.
Going below the belt.
Like pettiness.
If you're so good with words and you're winning,
Yeah.
I want to bring parents because I want to win.
Yeah.
Because now I know, now that's my strong point.
Your mama.
But you can choose to say, this woman wants to win,
Yeah.
let me let her win.
That's the leadership of a man.
Wow. Ronnie, where can our people reach you? How can they find you? For people who are struggling,
Yes.
and specifically, do you do therapy for couples,
Yes.
or you do specific individuals?
Yes.
Tell us so that our people will know how to locate you.
Yes. So we have a company called Serene Mind. We're doing digital therapy. It's still in the works. But our office is Chigobe 71A. That is Minister's Village, just opposite ICFC. We do practical sessions, but we're trying to... Why we do practical sessions is because that's what most people resonate with. But also, most of those sessions are expensive. When you look at the people who are not working, people who are young, they can't afford some of those sessions. So we try to do online sessions at a subsidized price.
Wow.
But because it's still in the works, we need partnerships, we need to hold hands, we need to partner with companies. But still, anybody who wants therapy still can reach us. I think I'll leave you with our information.
Yeah,
shall
and
add
we're
it.
going to put
Yeah.
it. We're going to put it
Yes.
at the bottom of the screen.
Yes,
Please reach out if you
Yes.
feel like it's not adequate. Drop
Yes.
something in the comments.
yes,
Yeah. If you guys can't hear each
deserves
other.
everyone deserves to be able to find the help that they
yes,
need.
yes.
Yeah.
We need to cultivate a culture of seeking for professional help as
Very-
Ugandans, as Africans.
Very,
And there is no
very
shame. The
much.
shame around that,
Very much.
you know, I think it's up here, but
Very
all
much.
of us struggle. We
Yes.
all struggle. It's part of the human condition.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You have been a blessing to us,
Yeah.
ladies.
Thank you.
I think it's been something impactful, even for us personally. We are taking away so much. If you feel like we haven't covered anything. If you feel like you have something burning that is recurring, maybe something that you're seeing in society more, please drop it in the comments. And if you want Ronnie to address some things,
Yes.
please leave them in the comments,
Yes.
because that is more reason to have him back to share with us.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Until next time, this is
Yes.
Calmly Aligned.